Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Guts vehicle Gutswing Ichigo, or Gutswing 01 as you can see written there in English. So basically this is one of the Guts vehicles for Tiga. You can see Tiga featured very prominently here on the right side of the packaging. And I don't know a ton about Tiga, I've never seen it, but I think it's very similar to like X or one of those series where they have kind of a government agency in charge of defense that's kind of assisting Tiga, or Tiga's assisting them, depending on how you want to look at it. But I believe that's the case, and this is one of the support vehicles from that. I think Guts is actually the name of the organization. So you can see here Ultraman 25th and TDG, which is for Tiga, Dyna, and Gaia. So even though it is the 25th anniversary of Tiga, because they're kind of a trilogy, they're kind of lumping them all together and doing like an anniversary, 25th anniversary for all three of them. So I will be honest, I don't know much about the Guts vehicles. I just thought this looked kind of neat, and I will also be honest, I thought that it did combine with Guts Vehicle 2. I thought it was featured here somewhere in the packaging, but it's not. But there is a Gutswing 02, and I thought they combined together, but I guess I was mistaken because I don't think that's the case. But it does look like he has three different configurations. So you have the flight mode, you have the standby mode, and then you have the hyper mode. So again, not really familiar with the show, but that's interesting. It does look like there are some batteries included, so it looks like there are some sounds to be played, which should be pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like it even comes with a stand, which is pretty neat. So pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the box, and we're going to take a closer look. Alright, so here it is in the standby mode. I have it on the little stand that it comes with. And I think it's kind of funny. You can see that it has two peg holes that it pegs into right here. But this one is very loose. And I believe that is so that it's not that difficult to unpeg it. You can actually see that this hole is a lot larger than this one. So this one pegs in very snugly, and then this one kind of pops off. But you can actually see the pegs are two different sizes as well. And I think that's so you, one, can't put it on backwards, and two, it makes it easier to, peg on and remove. Because if they were both really snug, you might have a hard time, getting it off of the stand. So I think that's kind of a nice little bit of engineering there. The base is okay. There's not really anything going on with the base here. It's very simple. It's just two pieces. This piece here pegs into the flat piece here, right there, as you can see. The stand itself, very, very tinily. Is tinily a word? I don't know. It says Guts, which is the name of the organization, and then very small underneath that, it says 1996 Tsuburaya Productions. I think that's a 6. It could be an 8. It's very, very hard to see. It's very, very small. But that is the little base that comes with this. I'm going to put it off to the side for a moment. So here is the standby mode, and it's okay. Everything is painted. There are no stickers, which is really nice. I like the color scheme. It's kind of a mustard yellow, which I apologize is probably throwing off my lighting. But you have some nice black and red paint. You have the Guts symbol here, which is nicely painted. Right here and here, there are little LEDs. And you can see underneath here, this is the battery compartment. Here's the button to get the sounds. Here's the on and off switch. So if I turn it off, I turn it back on. You can see the lights. So if I hit the button on this side over here, it's probably hard to see, but these do light up. And it kind of lights up under the cockpit as well. So if you keep hitting the button, you'll cycle through a few sounds. I think there's like 6 or 7 sounds in total just by hitting the button you cycle through. They're just kind of generic, flying sounds, missile sounds, things like that. If you hold the button down, there are 3 a little bit longer sounds, so that was kind of like a takeoff sound. So, nothing super exciting there. They're kind of just generic jet sounds, for lack of a better term. But you have big wheels on the bottom here. It does roll very nicely. So this is what they call the standby mode. I guess this would be how they kind of park it in the hangar. What you want to do is pull this back, and then they'll kind of flip out to the side. And now you are in the flight mode. So you have the wings out to the side. You can hear it doesn't make any transformation noises or anything like that. The sounds aren't any different. But, you know, it's got a cool little flight mode, so it's got that going on. You know, still rolls. Okay. You can go ahead and put it back on the stand here. So if you peg that in, you can see now it's flying. Looks kind of cool. The last mode is called the hyper mode. This one's my favorite. I just think this happens to be the coolest one. And you can see how it works under here. There's kind of a joint that you pull this, and there's kind of a springy nature to it. So that's how you can move these pieces around. But you're going to kind of pull it away and then rotate this up. And then you can see that there's a peg here, and there's a little peg spot right here. And then you fold this in, and it just kind of pegs in like that. So pull this away, rotate it, and peg it in. And then you have what they call the hyper mode. Now, to me, this is really neat. This reminds me of like a little F-Zero car or something like that, because it's got the wheels. So I think it rolls really cool. It's almost kind of like it has a car mode and a jet mode. Now, I've never seen the show, so I don't know if this is supposed to be a car or if it's supposed to fly through the air like this. I really don't know. But with the wheels, to me, this kind of just looks like a neat little car mode. And so to me, he's got a car mode and a jet mode. And then the standby mode is, I guess, just like I said, for parking it in the hangar or something. I don't know. That mode's a little bit less exciting. But it's very simple to transform it between the 3 modes. And then this just kind of comes around to here. And then you can slide that back in like so. So that's kind of it. Honestly, it's not that exciting of a toy, I'll be honest. Like I said, I really thought there was some kind of combination aspect with the other one. And I do feel like the more I pull these out, it's getting a little wonky. So I hope that this spring-loaded gimmick doesn't break the more I play with it, but I guess we'll see. You could go ahead and still put it on the stand if you would like, with the car mode or whatever you want to call this. It almost could be like a submarine too if you think about it. So yeah, you can use the stand in all 3 modes. But yeah, it's just, it doesn't have a ton going on. I think it looks pretty good, just doesn't have a ton of functionality. So I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed with this one, but I think it's because I didn't judge my expectations correctly. Again, I don't really know anything about Tiga, so I don't remember this thing's role in the show. I've never seen it on the show. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it was supposed to do. I really thought it was some kind of transforming jet. And I don't mean necessarily transforming into a robot. I thought it had some kind of transforming aspect in combination with the other jet. And I mean, technically it does kind of have a transforming aspect because the wings can flip around into the flight mode and the hyper mode and the standby mode. But the standby mode is kind of really boring in my opinion. I do like both of these modes. I think the hyper mode is my favorite because I think it looks like a cool little futuristic car. And the sounds are nice. I'm glad that it has sounds because I feel like without the lights and sounds it would be super boring. And I do really appreciate that they included a little stand. I just think this is going to be one of those things where if you're a big Tiga fan and you remember this from the show, 100%, go ahead and pick it up. You'll have some fun with it. If you're just looking for a generic jet toy that makes lights and sounds, meh, I don't know. I feel like there are better ones out there. So It's fine for what it is, and like I said, I think for me it's just because I don't have any connection to Tiga because I haven't seen it, and the fact that I thought this was going to be cooler than it is, and that's my own fault for kind of making up functionality for it that it doesn't have. That's on me. So I'm left a little disappointed, but it's not necessarily the fault of the toy, if that makes sense. But I really think this is going to be one that, if you're a big Tiga fan, go ahead and pick this up. You probably won't be disappointed. You know, if you're like, oh, it's a Jet toy, should I bother with it? Meh. There are better Jet toys out there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.